Hello, I'm George Bucur, Managing Director and Co-Head of MarshBerry Specialty Practice. Serving specialty organizations such as MGAs, MGUs, wholesale brokers, and program managers, we're here today to talk about one of the most popular conversations in the marketplace, value, and how valuation is derived. Now, part of the challenge is that while value is simple at the highest level, when you start to get down into the weeds, valuation can have a lot of intricacies. Specifically, valuation at its core can be calculated as an EBITDA number multiplied by a multiple plus or minus the implications of the balance sheet. That gets you to a valuation. Now, there's different types of valuations. On the more conservative side, we have fair market value calculations, which are determined for internal purposes primarily, maybe tax planning, estate planning, and or selling stock from one shareholder to an employee, for example. Then we also have external valuations. Sometimes they're referred to as investment value or market value. Now, these valuations are more aggressive when it comes to pro forma adjustments and can take into considerations compensation changes or other synergies of a partnership with an external party. Whether you're getting any valuation on this spectrum, the amounts can change and vary significantly. That's why it's important to understand the nuances of how valuation is calculated and what it means in the context of the objective you're trying to achieve. Now, from an M&A perspective, one of the reasons why valuations are so popular to talk about these days, when it comes to M&A, buyers oftentimes depict or communicate valuations in different ways, going beyond the methodology that I previously stated around EBITDA multiplied by multiple plus or minus the balance sheet, including other factors such as growth on equity that you might be expected to take, or compensation you might receive throughout a period of time with that counterparty. This all convolutes the conversation. It can be frankly very confusing, not just to an individual receiving an offer, but when it's communicated in the marketplace in terms of the valuation multiples that are being received. That's why, self-promoting a plug here, getting an advisor to talk you through and understand those implications are very important. But I digress. Getting back to the valuation, the most important factor that an owner can control is two of the major components in the calculation. One being the pro forma EBITDA. That has the most control. EBITDA will influence valuation more than any other factor that you can control. Next, when you take that pro forma EBITDA and you apply it against a multiple to get to your enterprise value, that multiple can be influenced by many factors, hundreds of factors. But at the end of the day, the five primary factors are going to be the historical growth propensity and future growth opportunity of an organization, their systems and processes that they have in place. In other words, how efficient do they operate? This oftentimes translates to EBITDA. The caliber of management and the duration that management wants to continue working with an organization. And then the overall inherent concentrations of business. For example, an MGA might have one market. That is a concentration, and sometimes thought of negatively, sometimes positively, depending on the situation. But as an operator, it's important to track valuation so that, one, you know that the investments you're making into your organization are adding value, but two, so that you know what you're worth within the marketplace and you can communicate that to employees to promote talent and or if you're looking to transact externally. If you have questions around how valuations may impact your organization or what you can do to maximize the valuation of your organization, we ask that you reach out. Until next time, be well.